There's a stigma around mental health that has been something that has been in sport for quite some time. Certain people feel a little bit ashamed about talking about it. Maybe they're going through something mentally and they're afraid to take it to social media because of the response that some people may have. There is a confusion between mental health and mental toughness and the differences between the two. There are a lot of issues in mental health in sport and specifically in cricket that I would like to talk about today. And that's the reason why we came out with our latest issue of the magazine, all talking about the mental health stigma and eliminating that stigma that is associated with mental health. So, today's episode, we're going to be talking about mental health issues, the magazine, what we thought about it, and what we thought about the articles that were in this particular issue of the magazine. So we're going to be discussing all of that with you guys today, and I'm going to be bringing Aditya on to get his outside view because this is the first magazine that he didn't write about this time around, and he never really spoke about any topics in this particular issue. So we're going to be talking about this with Aditya and see his insights into what he thought about the magazine because I trust his judgment 100%. So we're going to be chatting about everything about mental health and what this issue was all about. We're going to talk about all of this next. Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid. This is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. I've titled this the magazine show because this is the time that we published our latest issue, the June issue, the issue 12 of the magazine. It talks all about mental health issues. I'll show you the cover right now. It's eliminating the stigma around mental health in cricket. We've had a couple of psychologists, sports psychologists that have spoken in the magazine and given their insights into how you can obviously cancel out those issues and how you deal with it. There's a lot of stigmas around it. There's a lot of things that you want to learn about it. And I think this issue is for everybody to be able to read, to try and learn about what it takes to deal with this difficult issue. Now, there's been a couple of psychologists that spoke in this particular issue. I have to say shout out to the guys that have written in the magazine. Chris Chiwanza, obviously we had Mark Jacobson that did something on Richard Das Neves, the coach that won with Easterns. Emily Nordis interviewed Kirsten van Heerden, so that was an excellent interview from her part. I think she did excellently in there. And Ongama as well, that came back with a massive article with Mr. McInman. So, with Dr. McInman, I should say. So, we're going to be talking about that. Aditya, just tell me, as a reader, your experience, what was it like to read this particular issue of the magazine?
First of all, I have to say that this is probably one of the best magazine issues that Cricket Fanatics magazine has come out with, and I urge every single reader to take the time out to read this one. It is outstanding. The quality of the content is really enlightening, and it certainly stirred me up, and I felt incredibly enriched by what I read from a lot of the experts that were interviewed through the various brilliant articles that the twins wrote, Emily, Ungamo, as you said, and everyone. I'm sorry if I'm missing someone, but Mark, everyone just wrote brilliant articles, and they really provided a wide variety of insights into what the challenges are in bringing out like optimum performance for players, and just really empathizing with players and what they go through, because ultimately we have to realize that certainly in the cricket context, we're talking about a team game, but it's a team comprising 11 individuals, and every individual is different. So outstanding and commendable. Congratulations to all the writers.
Thanks a lot, Aditya, because I mean, it was a topic that was very close to my heart as well. It's something that I really wanted to delve into and talk about, because when Clinton de Kock cited mental health issues, or that Cricket South Africa cited mental health issues, there was a lot of things flying around on Twitter. The incident with Osaka as well. I mean, we can see how delicate it is, and it's very delicate. And I thought that the only way we're going to really talk about this and get the strategy out there and really speak about what it means from a psychology point of view, what it means for sports people, because they are constantly in the spotlight. They're constantly having to live in the limelight, and not a lot of them have asked for them now. Asked for this. Now, some people may say yes, but you wanted to be a professional sportsman. It was your choice, but nobody signs up for the limelight. You play you're trying to do what you love. And some people like to stay and be private. And there's a lot of things that we want to obviously talk about. And it really hit home with me reading this, and I hope that everybody gets something out of this. I mean, the twins Q&A with Denisha Devanarain, the insight that she gave, and that from a coach's perspective, dealing with young girls, of course, as well. It was a very good issue from that perspective, I think, to show a nice balance from a psychology point of view, from a fan's point of view, as well as from a psychologist's point of view, what they have to go through and how important their roles are within sport and within cricket. I think every single top quality team or top level team should be having a sports psychologist in their arsenal, to be able to have to speak, so players can speak to them about their issues. Because sometimes you may not think you have an issue, you may not think that you have mental health issues, but you need this someone to speak to. Now, cricket, as we both know, a lot of people will say so too, it's one of the most mentally driven games in the world. It's something that affects you in your mental state instantly. It's already such a difficult game to play. Now, there's a massive distinction between mental toughness and obviously mental health, and that was spoken about within this particular issue. Kirsten van Heerden gave some excellent insight. I mean, she was an ex-swimmer. She's worked with so many players and so many teams, the Proteas men, the Proteas women. Emily did a great job capturing her journey and capturing her thoughts and her insights. And she gives a great understanding to the people about what the difference is between mental toughness and mental health. Mental health might not be something sports related. You could have been dealing with a certain death. I mean, me and Leisha spoke in our podcast, and we put that podcast in because we spoke a lot about mental health issues that we both struggled with when we lost people that were very close to us at critical times in our careers and in our lives. So that can also affect you mentally. It can affect you in your sport physically. It can affect you in every walks of life that you are busy with. So there's a lot of issues that we need to speak about with regards to that. I don't want to let you pick your favorite, Aditya, but if you could say one article that you felt that really taught you something that you never knew before, because I know that every single article would have touched you and would have spoken to you, but was there something that you maybe never knew before that you learned from this magazine? And if you guys want to download this magazine, the link is on the screen and in the description below.
What one thing that really struck with me among all the great articles there was Chris's piece. You know, when he talks about the difference between being calm and between the degree of arousal needed to optimize performance. That to me was incredibly important, because when someone is excited and you tell them, you know, just calm down, as Chris mentioned in his article, that's actually unwise advice, and it's not something we should do, because when you're calm, you're not charged enough to perform at your best. So I thought that was really interesting. But in addition to that, again, I love the emphasis that Emily's article put on the difference between the person and the player. You know,
Yeah.
that's so important. And you know, coming from India, you know, uh, where cricket is a religion, you know, and we almost unreasonably expect our players not to feel the pressure of you know, a billion expectations. So you know, I can sort of understand that. And but you know, one thing that reading this issue uh, really reminded me of was that Faf du Plessis was probably the first South African cricketer I've ever heard talk publicly about mental health.
Yeah.
And and it must be so difficult, because in a cricketing culture where being macho, being tough is is um,
Yeah.
is appreciated. He said in Daniel Galland's article that you can be tough, but you can be gentle and tough. So I
Mhm.
thought that is remarkable, and I hope it begins a conversation in South African cricket um, about the importance of mental health, mental toughness, and mental fitness.
Mhm. It's good that you brought that up because there's something specific that I want to talk about when it comes to coaches. Not all players uh, react in the same way as others. So, for example, there might be certain coaches that are a lot more harder on their players to try and get the result out of them. Sir Alex Ferguson was very good at this. He was a judge of his players very well. He knew that if he went after one guy, he will get riled up and then motivate the rest of the teammates around him to also perform. Maybe there was someone that needed maybe an arm around him and didn't need a scolding. That's the way that he reacts to it. So you need to be careful as a coach. And Denisha Devonrain and Mr. Das Neves, they both touched on that in Mark's article as well as in the Twins' article, because they spoke about it from a coach's perspective, knowing when to be a certain way with players and being mindful that certain players might have that inherently in them. You can't change the way you are as a human being, and the way you are in your from inside out. I mean, how you were born, and some people are a little bit more sensitive than others, and other people are tougher, and they need that push and that kick up the backside to be able to perform at a high level. So there's certain that's something that our coaches also need to learn. Just because they were tough players in the past, or they reacted well to that type of scrutiny or that type of scolding, doesn't mean that every player is that way. Not every player is going to react the same way. So, guys, please go and check that article out. I mean, check out this whole magazine. Please download the latest issues. The link is on the screen just to give you an insight into how it looks. That's the cover in the middle over there. There are some of the back issues, the last two back issues, in fact. So go ahead and support us, please, and download this latest issue of the magazine. I think it's something that everybody has to read. We've been theming our magazines over the last couple of months and over the last year. It's our 12th edition, so it's almost a year now. So it actually is exactly a year since we started publishing this digital magazine monthly. So please go read the back issues because everyone is themed accordingly. Aditya, thanks a lot for coming on the show. Thanks a lot for the guys that have tuned in, and the guys that are watching back. Thanks a lot for actually clicking on this episode. And please like, share, subscribe, do all of those things as well so that we can trend on YouTube, etc. And especially become one of the number one YouTube channels in South Africa. So thanks a lot for doing so. Thanks a lot for tuning in. And we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another daily show as well as a preview show in the evening. We've got another special guest for you coming on the show as well. So thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with more content. Take care and enjoy your week.